Hey .NET developers! I'm Jack, here to help you learn AWS. In this video, I'll explain how you can deploy new versions of your application to production seamlessly on Elastic Beanstalk. When you update production, of course you want to avoid disruption to your users and minimize downtime. But there are trade-offs to consider. What will the deployment cost? How long will it take? What's the risk? And how do you recover if something goes wrong? Elastic Beanstalk comes with a rich collection of deployment strategies, 6 in all. There's all at once, rolling with extra batch, immutable, traffic splitting, and blue-green. Let's take a look at each of them. All at once deployments push the new version of your application to all instances simultaneously. We're all taking the plunge together. This is the fastest and least expensive way to deploy, but it comes with a big negative: downtime. All of your instances will go out of service for a short time. This is the only one of the 6 deployment strategies that has application downtime. Rolling deployments divide your instances into batches. Each batch is updated one at a time. It's kind of like a wedding reception where they dismiss each table one by one for the buffet. As each batch of instances are updated, they go out of service for a short time, but the other batches are up and running. This approach avoids downtime. You control the number of instances in each batch. As each batch is updated, your capacity is slightly reduced. This is a good option if you can't handle any downtime. Rolling with an additional batch is a variation of rolling. An extra batch of instances is created so that your capacity is not diminished during the deployment. Like rolling, this approach avoids downtime and you control the batch size. You maintain full capacity. You do incur the cost of the extra batch. This is a good option if you can't handle any downtime and don't want your capacity reduced during the deployment. Immutable deployments are an alternative to rolling updates when you want your new version deployed to all new instances. Instead of updating your existing instances, Beanstalk launches an entire set of new instances and deploys the new version to them. Once the new deployment passes health checks, the original instances are terminated. Immutable deployment had 0 downtime, and failures are low impact and can be rolled back quickly. However, immutable is the most expensive way to deploy and takes the longest. Traffic splitting is for canary testing, where you see how the new version does with a small group of users before rolling it out to everyone. Traffic is temporarily split between the existing version and the new one. If a health check passes, remaining traffic is shifted over as well. There's 0 downtime, and you control the traffic split percentage and time before evaluating health and shifting all traffic over. This kind of deployment can take longer, depending the evaluation time you configure. In blue-green deployment, you create a clone of your production environment and push the new version to that, then cut over to the new version. It works like this. Your new version is pushed to a staging environment on a shared load balancer with production. Then, you swap URLs and bingo, the new version is live. This kind of update has 0 downtime and fast, easy rollback, but you incur costs of the additional environment, and it takes longer. How do you configure a deployment strategy? For 5 of the 6 strategies, you select a deployment policy when you create an environment in the console. Depending on the policy, you may have to configure settings, such as batch size or traffic split. For blue-green deployments, you will clone a staging environment from your production environment. Then, you'll swap URLs between staging and production. When you're satisfied the new version is running happily, you can delete the former environment. As we've seen, AWS Elastic Beanstalk gives you a choice of deployment strategies. Choose the approach that best suits your combined requirements for deployment time, downtime, impact of failure, and cost. Read the linked blog post and documentation for more information. I'm Jack, and I'll see you in the cloud.